Michelle Blackwood from Healthier Steps, and I'm so excited today because I have a new recipe for you, and it's my vegan sweet potato pie. This pie is absolutely delicious. It is just so flavorful, and it is perfect for fall, and Thanksgiving is coming up. So I want for you to try this recipe, and make sure when you do come back to tell me, you're gonna thank me for this. Anyhow, before we get started, please subscribe to our channel, click on the notification bell so that you can be notified on all our latest recipes. So let's get started. Okay, so to begin, I'm going to be adding my flour. Today I'm using gluten-free all-purpose flour, but you can use any flour that you prefer to use. So I'm adding gluten-free flour, and next I'm adding a little sugar. I'm using organic cane sugar. And next I'm adding my salt. I'm using Himalaya pink salt. And I'm just gonna stir. Just make sure I stir to incorporate everything so that everything is evenly distributed. Okay? Next, what you're gonna do is you're gonna add your butter, and I'm using vegan butter. I'm using Earth Balance brand. This one gives an absolutely flaky crust, and it's the best out there. I love the Earth Balance brand. Actually, Yoko too, or hers is not bad as well. And what you're going to do next is you're going to mix your butter with your flour, and when you're finished, it should look like fine breadcrumbs. So you're just mixing it. And if you have a pastry cutter, even better. I'm just using a fork, so I'm showing you that you can use whatever you have. The thing is, you can use your hand. The problem is, if your butter isn't like super cold, then it won't flake up as much. It's better if you use a fork, because your body temperature will warm the butter up, and you're trying to keep it as cold as possible. So there you go. That looks good. Next, I'm going to add my water. I'm just adding enough water so that it will come together in a dough ball. So I'm just going to add my water. And then I'm going to turn this out. And you can turn it out onto a floured surface, but because I'm using gluten-free flour, which is sometimes temperamental in the sense that it might not stick together and hold together, I'm going to be adding it on parchment paper. Okay? So I'm just putting it all together, and then at this time what you're going to do is you're going to bring it together. And if you find that it's not coming together, you might need extra water. So you can always add extra water. Depending on what flour you use, you want to make sure that you add enough water until the dough comes together into a nice smooth ball, just like this. So it just depends on what flour you're using. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll my dough out. Again, because I'm using gluten-free flour, it doesn't have any natural gluten in it or glue to keep it together for it to stick. So what I'm going to do, and you may not have to do it if you're using regular flour, I'm going to roll it out in between 2 sheets of parchment paper. So I'm just going to roll it out. Just roll it out into a circle. And see what the parchment paper does. It keeps it together, because that's what you want. And because it's slippery, I'm just gonna keep it from moving. That's it. Okay. Very good. And there you go. Next, what I'm gonna do is you're gonna grease your pie plate. And I'm gonna remove the top sheet. And I'm going to invert. Gentle, and it doesn't matter if it breaks. You're just gonna flip it, and you can always fix it again. You're just gonna put the pieces together, because guess what? No one is seeing the pie crust, only the edges. They're not seeing inside. So you're just gonna fix it as much as you can, and then you're gonna remove it. Nice. Remove it, and then while you're removing it, you can fix any cuts in it. Just put them together. Put it together. And being from the Caribbean, I would say pie is not like I'm not my expertise. I'm more a pudding girl. So we're just gonna part, because what I did is I baked my sweet potatoes. I baked them in the oven for about an hour at 375 degrees, and there they are, nice and soft. I'm just going to remove the skin, add them to my blender with the rest of the ingredients for the filling. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove the skin, and so moist, because when I bake it, I mean you can boil them, but most of the flavor is actually going in the water. So if you want to make sure you retain as much flavor and it's more concentrated like this, I prefer to bake my sweet potatoes. And you want about two is good enough. And this time of the year, there's a lot of sweet potatoes that you can find in the stores or in your garden at this time of the year. And so before I add my sweet potatoes, I'm just going to go ahead and add my coconut cream. I'm going to add some vanilla. That was funny. My son was the one that helped me prep. And he did a little bit of vanilla. I'm adding, those are my spices. You can add a combination of cinnamon. Some people like to add nutmeg. You can add allspice, whatever your favorite spices are. And I'm just gonna add my sugar. And I'm using organic cane sugar, cornstarch, and all your seasoning. I'm gonna add some ginger too. I'm gonna add, and one easy tip for you when you're preparing your ginger or you're peeling, if you want to peel it, you don't have to, it's gonna be all blended. Once you have organic ginger, you can go ahead and add the skin. However, if it's not organic and say you want to peel it, You just take a spoon and you just peel. Just like that. Easy, you don't have to even use a knife. You just basically use a spoon and go like that. So I'm just showing you how I do it, the quick and easy way for me to peel ginger. And I'm only going to use about an inch. You can use more. You can go ahead because it just does something to your sweet potato pudding. So before I do that, I can now go ahead and then chop up my sweet potatoes and add them to, the scent of the ginger is amazing. That ginger is from South America and it's so potent, so potent. I like two places I like to get my ginger from, Jamaica and Peru or Ecuador, anywhere down there. Those ginger, so amazing, so amazing. The least place, if it says China, I don't get it. I don't like the scent, something about the scent. I don't like it. And I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna grate. You gotta try the sweet potato pie because the ginger in it, the coconut milk, to me it's better, tastes better than traditional sweet potato pie. It does. And you gotta try to see. This ginger. All right, so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna blend away. And oh, it smells so amazing, so good. You're gonna help it. When you're using a high-speed blender, sometimes you need to pause and move things around, but the high-speed blender is strong enough to handle it, but you just want to move it along, help it along. So push down. So you're just going to remove and just stir things. Smells so good. Ooh, I feel like I can just eat it straight out the blender. I'm just adding a little extra milk, just a little bit, because you know you want it to bake and for it to set firm. So here we go. The filling looks great. It's thick. I like the texture. And now I'm just going to add it to the filling to the crust. Perfect. Perfect. Looking good. Just get everything out. Oh, this looks good. Uh-oh. It looks good. Just smoothing the top. I'm gonna bake now. So what I'm doing next is I'm covering my pie with foil paper so that the edges, the nice edges, don't get burnt. And then I'll just bake it for 40 minutes to make sure the pie itself is fully baked. Then I'm going to remove the foil paper and allow the edges to get nice and golden brown. See you in a minute. Look at this, guys. This pie has the perfect crust. Look at it, golden brown. Like I said, I put the foil on for like 40 minutes, then I remove it and then let it finish cooking for about 20 minutes. And you have to let it cool and just let it set. And then we're gonna cut it and do the taste test. So I'll be back shortly. Okay, so now for the taste test. Oh, look at that. Love it. Love it. This is amazing. Look. This is so good. And don't forget, the longer it sits, the firmer it is. But I can't wait. I just couldn't wait. I have to dig right in. So it still needs a little bit more time to set up, but I can't wait. I just want to get in. Look at that. Look at that. Ooh, look at that. Perfect. So good. There's no egg, no dairy, no milk. Perfect. And you know what I'm going to serve it with? Some coconut whipped cream. And I just got a store-bought brand. But you can make your own with coconut cream. But I'm going to eat it with a dollop on top of... Oh my, can you tell? I can't wait to dig in. Just a dollop. Look at that. Perfect. Look at that. Perfect. I hope you make my vegan, gluten-free, sweet potato pie this Thanksgiving. You won't be disappointed. And guess what? You're going to come back and thank me. Like many, many readers have already come back to thank me for this recipe every Thanksgiving. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Look at it. Perfect. I gotta get a little bit of the coconut topping. This recipe never fails. So good, so delicious, perfect sweetness, perfect flavors, the ginger, the cinnamon, a little pinch of nutmeg. Amazing. And guess what? You can use cardamom too if you don't want to use nutmeg. But look at it. So good. Your non-vegan family will be like, I need a recipe. So good. So be sure to join me on my next recipe. And if you've not subscribed to my channel, please do so. Hit on the notification bell so that you can be notified on all our latest recipes. And see you. Bye.